Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us at Earth and Sky. We love and appreciate each and every one of you and appreciate you tuning in to listen to us on Sunday mornings. I have heard from a few of you this week that have been listening to our Life Talks, and it always brightens my day when I get to hear from people that listen in or watch. It depends on what you're doing. I love that some people walk while they watch our videos. It's a great way to get some exercise and have a little fun along the way. So today, if you are going out for a wintry walk, it will be appropriate with what we're talking about, especially if it's a moonlit walk in the winter. I don't think a lot of people do that, though. I might be one of the few that likes to go out for those moonlight walks in the winter amidst all of the snow and the glittering white as it dances under the light of the silvery moon. But this moon that we're going to be talking about today is the full snow moon. That's the name it's most commonly referred by. That's the name that I usually reference it as. And as you can see on our Wheel of the Year, this beautiful snowflake moon was done by Man in the Moon Metalworks for us. And the snow moon is a pretty obvious title for this time of year. It's the snowiest month of the year here in North America, and it's there are several other words that we will sometimes reference this moon by as well. The Native Americans have also called this the hungry moon, which makes sense. A lot of times February can be a pretty lean month. It can be a time where, especially with hunter and gatherer tribes, where it's a bit harder to forage for food and you might be a bit hungrier. Some tribes called it the bony moon because that also represented the scarcity of this February moon, where it's very cold and the earth is covered in a blanket of white that's preserving it, getting ready for the spring to emerge in a couple of months here. This moon has also been called the bald eagle moon or the eagle moon. The Ojibwa tribe reference this as the bear moon. The Tlingit tribe reference it as the black bear moon, and that's because cubs tend to be born at this time of year as they burrow down in their dens through all of this winter month. The Dakota tribe calls it the raccoon moon. The Algonquin tribe references it as the groundhog moon and also the snow moon. The Haida tribe references it as the goose moon. That one I hadn't actually heard of before. But I want to drill down a little bit into the moon of scarcity. So the hunger moon, the snow moon, and the bony moon. Because this is the time of year where we're really wrapping up some of that planning that we've been doing within our lives. This is the time of year that we are able to be inside a bit more it's been a long year being inside this last year, but in normal times, these are the months where we tend to be inside a bit more. We tend to go in a bit more during the holidays. Thanksgiving kicks us off. December, we really get huddled inside more, and then we kind of stay there through January and through February, at least in the northern parts of the country where it is really cold, and it beckons you to stay in where you're warm, where you're not driving out into the snow. But what that gives us is a really great opportunity to plan and to think about what we want to do with the rest of the year and what you want to start doing and planning for the rest of your life, and to be able to take those moments and to take that time to go within to do the planning sometimes isn't the most fun aspect of it. I know for myself, I really enjoy doing and getting in there, and for me, I love teaching and I like being involved with people. So sometimes it can be a little bit harder when we're in the months of planning and I go within and I figure out what I need to buckle down on or drill down on to get ready for the next year, because I'd rather just be doing it. But without a good solid plan, it's hard to really activate the plan and make the rest of the year work for you in the way that it can to the best of its ability. So one of the things I wanted to get you to kind of think about a little bit as you're going through this week is if you in your life are in times of scarcity, where you're maybe feeling a bit of that lack, where you feel like you don't have everything that you want, or you feel like maybe the winter months the bills rise and it makes it harder to do some of the things that you want, or perhaps because of the challenges a lot of people have faced in this last year, maybe you are struggling more financially and trying to figure out how to keep everything going together. Sometimes those times of lack or those times of hunger are the best times to really go within and figure out what matters to you the most. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that you feel like you can have an impact on with your life? And what do you really want in your life? It's probably not really materialistic things when you get down to what really does matter within your life, what really does matter within your world. If you are not in a position where you're feeling that lack, it can be really good to take yourself there within your mind and perceive and imagine what it feels like to be in a time of scarcity. Perhaps imagining yourself out on the plains as one of the natives, figuring out how it feels to be in a teepee in the middle of the winter, and you're trying to forage and figuring out what matters to you most. Is it your family that matters? Is it your impact that matters? What is it that matters to you? So perceive that, think about that within your own life, because that can sort of help you get to that point of recognizing what it is that matters most to you, because that is very deeply personal for each person, what it is that matters. And then I want you to take some time to also think about, if you have everything you want in this life, if you have everything, whatever you perceive success and joy as in your life, if you have everything that you feel like you may want, what is it that matters most to you within that picture? What is it that really makes your heart sing when you think about having everything that you could possibly ever want? And if you imagine that a little bit further and you're thinking about what it seems like to have everything that you want in life and being surrounded by anything that you could possibly dream of that you want to have in your life, if everything you wanted was in a building, whether it's things that are physical or things that are intellectual or whatever aspects they are, if all of those are in a building with you and there is a fire, what three things matter the most that you will carry out of that building? Those are three good things to think about as you're preparing for planning this year. Those three things that you would carry out, whether it's something that's material or intellectual or emotional, maybe it's another person or an animal. What three things matter the most? Those may be the things you want to work on as you're doing your planning, or to make sure you're including that and cultivating that into your plans as you're figuring out what you want the rest of the year to look like for yourself. So take some time over this next week to kind of put yourself in each of the scenarios and think about what it is that matters to you, so that you know what you want to build on, so that you know what you want to create in your life, so that you know how you want your life truly to look, not being persuaded by things that glitter and pass by very quickly, but what things matter the most, because those are the things that you can build on and create, and that will sustain you in many years to come if you cultivate them and you build on them. And don't worry if you don't like the winter and you are getting tired and depressed and frustrated with the gray skies, because it won't be long before we come into the time of spring. So utilize each moment that we have as we're in this time of quiet beauty that winter brings us, and think about, as we are in this, as we're in the stage of the hungry moon, the bony moon, the snowy moon, it's time to think about what you really want to prepare for, to create, to build on, to have, to be, to live, to do within your life. This is the life that you have to prepare for, to create, in each moment that you're living. You are building and creating your destiny, your future, and your present are so intertwined by being conscious and really debating and figuring out and thinking about what matters most to you, doing your planning from there. That will set you up to have a much more successful and fortuitous spring, and enjoying the summer as we continue spinning around the wheel over and over again. Use the light of this beautiful full moon that is shining down on us tonight to encourage you, to inspire you in those plans, and to think about what you want to plan for your life, and to plan simply for this season and for this year and for this week, moment by moment by moment. I also thought I'd give you a couple of just little fun facts about the moon. The country wisdom has often said that when we have a full moon or when we have a new moon, that we tend to get a lot more frost and storms and weather and cloudiness and a lot of the more frigid cold and snowy weather. And they've done some research now as well. They have invested into some research, and they found that at the full moon and at the new moon, we do tend to get higher amounts of frost, higher amounts of cloudiness, and higher amounts of storm with each of those. Storms carry a tremendous amount of energy with them. If you use that time when we have the full moon and when we have a storm with it, use the energy and the zest and the electricity that creates to help you to fuel your plans as you're making your plans and preparing in the spring to put those plans into action. Hope that gives you some food for thought for today, and I hope you take some time to go out and look at this beautiful full moon that we have tonight. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.